did I not just grab a gun and shoot him? Welcome to today's video from me and my voluptuous, juicy lips. This is going to be more of a different kind of video today. It's going to be a sit down and just talk kind of video. So I'm not going to be getting ready. I'm not going to be doing makeup. I'm just going to be sitting here, moving my hands, and flapping my mouth bits. Giving very Lord Farquaad today. But this video is about the reality of dating, as from my perspective. I've been dating, or in the dating world, since I was 18 years old. I didn't start seriously dating until about the age of 25. I'm a lover girl, I'm a yearner. I've always wanted to be in love. So when I was 18, I was dating people like 6 years older than me. Very gross, very weird. Back then, I didn't think it was weird. I was just like, oh, I like people older than me. And now that I'm older than 24, because I was dating 24-year-olds, when I was 24, I never thought, let me date an 18-year-old. That's creepy and weird. So yeah, when I first started dating, I was around the age of 18, and I was just trying to get out there, honestly. I was homeschooled, so I didn't really get a lot of the social cues and stuff. Whenever people meet me, they're like, yeah, we can tell you were homeschooled. And I don't really know what that means. I guess it's like I said, I don't really understand a lot of social cues. I guess I'm really weird as well. Are homeschool kids really weird? Chat, be honest with me. Am I weird? It's okay if I am. I don't mind it, but yeah. So I started dating around the age of 18. It wasn't very serious because in the back of my mind, I thought, in the forefront actually, right here, I was like, I'm gonna marry Harry Styles. He's gonna marry Zoe Kravitz though, so I was kind of correct in the sense of that he was gonna be with a black girl. Just not this black girl. But yeah, so I thought I was gonna be marrying Harry Styles, so I was not very serious about the dating that I was doing at 18. And this is really stupid, but the reasoning behind why I was dating older people was because Harry is older than me. So I was like, this could get my feet wet. I ought to slap myself. And then around the age of 20, COVID hit. And once again, I was in my house. Like, being homeschooled, I was in my house, not socializing with people. So I didn't really know how to socialize. I had very bad social anxiety. I was scared to leave the house. COVID, 1. 2, Black Lives Matter movement was really heavy, and I was afraid that I was going to die. I didn't really leave the house much, unless it was like to go to work and come back home, because at the time I worked at Starbucks and we were kind of classified as an essential worker. And then at work, they're like, do you want to stay home? And I was like, yeah. So I just stopped working. Not great for my health and development, honestly. But we're here now, aren't we? So around the age of 20 to 24, COVID kind of lasted a while. I really wanted to date seriously, but I couldn't leave the house. I lived at home, so I lived under my mom's rules, which was nobody comes in, nobody goes out. I was on dating apps at the time, and it was like, we can text, but I can't meet you. I'm sorry. And that deterred a lot of people away from me. They didn't really like that. They were just like, who gives a damn about COVID? Like, I want to see you. And I was just like, I can't do that. I'm so sorry. And I met this person. We started chatting for a bit. And I always say this thing of like, or back in the day, or back then, I used to be like, oh, I'm just seeing what's out there. Because I gathered from a young age, back being 18, people didn't really want to be in a long-term relationship. They just wanted something quick. I'm not someone who really wants anything quick. I want to be devoted to someone. Like, I want to be in love. And I don't know, I've come into contact with a lot of people who just don't want to be in love, which really sucks. Or they'll say they want to be in love, and then I don't know what it is about me. They're just like, not with you. I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. So I ended up meeting a person, and at the time I was just like, yeah, I'm just seeing what happens, you know, I'm not really looking for anything serious, knowing good and well I wanted something serious. And they were like, same, I don't want nothing serious. So we started dating for a little bit, and then I'm like, hey, so I like you. And they're like, but you said you didn't want anything serious. And I was so embarrassed. And I was like, right. But I was just like, right? No, you're so real for that. My fault. I'm gonna leave. They definitely had a crush on me. I had a crush on them. But they were like, I don't want nothing serious. What are you talking about that you like me? And I was just like, ah ha ha. Ah. Fast forward. I don't know what age that was. I was like 22, 23. Fast forward to 25 years old, Kamaya. And that's when I'm like, I really want to settle down with someone. But I'm going to be in my Samantha Jones era, you know? So I was just here, there, everywhere. And that era lasted for a while. I was with anybody and everybody. But I felt really empty, very empty. And I was just like, I don't really like this. I really want to be in love. I had my first relationship at 25. It lasted for 6 months. It was beautiful for what it was, but it wasn't the best relationship, I would say. Like, it wasn't like, you know, it was your first relationship. I don't really know. I didn't really know who I was or what I was doing, and I was just like, I'm here for the ride. Things got a little rocky, and I was just like, this is not what I want. I'm really sorry. I think we should see other people. After that, I went back into my Samantha Jones era. It was fun. But once again, I felt empty. I'm 27 now. I still want to find love. But I did say in a few videos ago that like dating online is very weird to me. Even though I do partake in dating online dating, I do find it very strange. Meeting people that I probably would have never met if it weren't for the internet. Who says that? That's a song lyric. Is it Childish Gambino? Anyway, besides the point. Yeah, meeting people that I would have never met because of the internet, and just trying to figure out who I am while also meeting people where they're at. It's a weird situation, I guess. And I there's this thing in Atlanta called Queers and Beers. I am queer. And it's a place where queer people can meet up, drink and dance and laugh and play games and stuff like that. I've been to 2 events, very fun. But when I'm in public, when I'm in person with people, I'm not like the type of person who's like, let me get your number. I'm very reserved and just like, I kind of want to go home. I'm scared. Dating in the queer scene, for me personally, hasn't really been that great. The last few people I've dated have been non-binary. I'm also non-binary. Nice to meet you. It's been really strange. A lot of people say one thing and then do the other. So they'll be like, I want a long-term relationship. I want monogamy. I want this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh, you're checking off all the boxes right now. I like this. And then there's a flip that just switches. And it's just like, not with you, though. Not with you. And it sucks. It really sucks. And it makes my heart sad. It makes me feel undesirable. It makes me feel unlovable because I come into contact with so many different people because I'm dating and I'm trying to learn people. And I tried having a roster before. I don't really like that. So I date one person at a time, or just I talk to one person at a time. But yeah, dating for me has been a weird journey of self-discovery and realizing that like I take a lot of BS and I have rose-colored glasses on, and I have to start coming at people kind of like a villain. Like, I have to be kind of mean. And I hate that. The last person I talked to, they ended things, and they said a lot of really mean things to me. I'm not gonna repeat some of the stuff. I'm just gonna say one thing that has stuck with me, and it won't go away. Like, it just won't go away. They said, and I quote, "It feels like you have no hobbies." End quote. They said a lot more, but the way they spoke to me, our last conversation, I felt like I was a child being scolded by a principal or something. Like, I felt like they were coming at me as like an authoritative figure, and I was a little kid. Like, I was being told, you're bad, you're wrong, you're doing horrible things, and you need to stop. That's what it felt like when they were talking to me. It felt like they were belittling me. And after that conversation ended, I just cried. And I was just like, I didn't even know that what I was doing was bad. I didn't know that I was being hurtful or harmful or etc. And I went to my friends, my mom, just anyone who was there to hold me. And I told them everything, and they were just like, they just said a bunch of BS to you. Like, none of the stuff they said to you was true. And I was like, I do have hobbies, right? Like, they spoke to me in a way that made me question myself. And I've never had that before happen. I've never had that happen before. I really was like in this weird place of like, what the world? Like, my brain was just like, you have no hobbies. You have no hobbies. You have no interest. You're not cool. You're a loser. Like, I was spiraling. And I just kind of lost myself in that comment. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, people's perception of me is really horrible. And it makes me sad because, like, the way I perceive myself is so different from how others view me, especially in the dating realm. Sorry, I'm congested right now. In the dating realm, I feel like people view me as less than, and I feel like they've always viewed me as less than because I'm so kind, and I tend to get walked all over. I tend to get used a lot for gratification, or I know that you like me more than I like you, so I'm just kind of talking to you just because instant gratification. I tend to like the people that I like heavy. I'm a very heavy liker. I like people a lot, and I try to see the best in people. And I always have my rose-colored glasses on because I was taught, like, what you give out is what you're going to receive. So see the best in people. And I no longer want to see the best in people, which is really sad to admit, but people have shown me who they are, and I'm still like, you're a good person. I know you are. No, I need to stop doing that. My rose-colored glasses, I feel like I want to take them off. And just, the first time someone does something that offends me, I'm just like, no. I need to become nitpicky. Like, even as a child, when I had friends, I had a lot of friends that were really mean and just took advantage of me, and I would just be like, they're my friend. And it's like, no, baby. The way that I am now very particular about who's in my space platonically, I need to do the same romantically. I need to be picky. I need to be open and also aware, and not really have rose-colored glasses on, and to realize that not everybody has your best interest at heart. Is that the phrase? I don't know the phrase, but yeah. Dating for me has been a really weird whirlwind of like emotions and experiences and just a lot. I feel like I date people who think they're better than me. And if I could show you a picture of every person I've dated, y'all would be like, they think they're better than you? Yikes. I can count on one hand how many people have actually they haven't been better than me, but 3 people come to mind where I'm like, they were solid. Everybody else, creatures. Not just looks, but personality. Horrible people. Like, there was this one guy I dated for about 3 months who was really mean to me about my religion. And I don't know why I let that slide. Like, I think back on it now and I'm just like, why didn't I not just grab a gun and shoot him? Jokes. But like, you know, like, why are you being mean to me over my religion? That's weird. Very strange. Strange behavior. Peculiar. Dating for me has been weird. And I have realized that nobody likes me the way that I like them. Like, no one has gone out of the way to make me feel liked. I count on one hand, 2 people have made me feel liked. And that's it. In my almost 10 years of dating, 2 people have made me feel liked. Everybody else, no. I'm very susceptible to getting ghosted. I'm very susceptible to people just being like, I like you, but you're cool and all, but I get that a lot. And I don't really do a lot of the breaking up because, like I said, I like people very deeply and I am like, I want to be domesticated. Just call me a dog. Is dating hard for y'all? And if not, what's the secret? Because I feel like dating is so hard for me. I feel like I show myself as a good person, as a kind person, and then I feel like people are just like, we're gonna hurt your feelings and shoot you. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, I do feel undesirable and I do feel unlovable. And I know that I'm lovable platonically and family-wise, and I'm desired family-wise and platonically, but romantically I don't feel that way. I don't feel like people love me or even like me. I don't feel like people desire me. I think they desire my body, but they don't desire everything else that comes with who I am. Like, a lot of people are very just like, I feel like I don't even know how to talk. Like, I just feel like people, when it comes to Kamaya, they say one thing and they really mean another. They're not real with me. And I want someone who's going to be real. I want something that's going to be real, that's going to be equal amount of effort and reciprocated energy, and not just like 3 weeks to 3 months of just, I like you, but I'm not gonna really let you know, or you're gonna be confused the whole time. And it's like, if you're confused, they don't like you. And if I don't want to keep putting myself in that cycle of like confusion, or a cycle of, I like you, but not really. I really just like your body. You know? Because it's not fair to me when I really want to be in love and have a future with someone and people are just playing with me. Even when I'm not dating someone who's queer, because I've dated queer people, I've dated straight people, I've dated people all under the umbrella. I just feel like people, they don't want to take time with me, 2, they don't really care about me for real. And I care very deeply. It doesn't take much for me to care about someone. It doesn't take much for me to like someone. And I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I probably should not do that. It's hard navigating dating, especially in such a world where people are nonchalant and don't really want to show their emotions, and they don't really want to talk to you either. I'm someone who likes to talk every day. People who are just like, talk to your partner every day, ew. What? So you don't like me. That's what I'm gathering. You don't want to talk to me every day. Like, I like talking every day. I talk to my friends every day. What's the problem in wanting that? I feel like I keep running into people who's just like, talking every day is gross. And being liked is gross. Like, I feel like I run into people who's just like, showing interest is nasty. That is what I feel. Like, I feel like people don't want me to show interest. They get the ick from me showing interest, and it's just like, huh? I don't know. It's very backwards, I guess. I just want to be in love. Yeah. And I want to find someone who wants to be in love too, and grow and cherish each other and reciprocate energy, and for things to be equal. I don't want to have to guess if you like me or not. I want it to be known, and I want someone who's going to like me out loud, not just, yeah, I like you. Like, no, I want you to scream it out and get me gifts and words of affirmation and quality time. You know, it doesn't matter what we're doing, just as long as we're together, you know? I would love that. And I can't wait for it to happen for me. Because I do feel lonely. I'm not even gonna lie. I do feel lonely. Even though, like, I'm content with myself, there is that romantic loneliness that I feel. And I wish I had someone. And I guess what I really want is to grow old with someone and also travel and not be tied down. Like, I don't want someone who's going to be like, yeah, I want to stay in Atlanta forever. I want someone who's like, you know what? In 5 years, let's move so-and-so. Let's move somewhere else. Or let's go out of the country, you know? Because being a flight attendant, I'm everywhere. And I want someone who's going to understand my schedule and not demonize me for it. Or who's going to understand my love languages and not demonize me for that. I just want to be understood at the end of the day. Understood and loved and cherished. And I want to find someone who wants the same. I want to be accepted into someone's family for who I am. And I want to be accepted into someone's heart for who I am. And I want someone who's going to understand my flight attendant schedule and understand that I'm going to be places and allow me to travel and not be like, we're staying in one spot. Not saying I want to move every year. I hate moving and I would love to settle down in a place when I'm older. Preferably Italy. I would love to settle down in Italy. Yeah. Have a home there. That'd be really cool. Dating in Atlanta is weird. And there have been so many people that have come and gone in my life. And I can't wait until I find my person. And yeah. I feel like we as people we have multiple soulmates. And I found a lot platonically. And I found maybe 2 romantically. Unfortunately, one passed away, which hurts a lot. Yeah. I can't wait to find my soulmate and be in love and have a house and settle down, you know? I really want that for myself. I see that for myself. I do. And people keep telling me that, like, once you're doing something you love, you're gonna find the person that you love. So I really hope so. So I'm hoping the person I find has money, or at least is in aviation like me, so that our schedules can kind of be like, oh, see, I'm flying too. You know, I don't know. I think that's all I have to say. I just talked a lot, and I don't know if anything that I said made sense. If it didn't, I'm sorry. If it did, yay. But thanks for sticking with me throughout this video. I know it wasn't really an entertaining video. It was more just a sit down and chat. Girl chat. They, them chat. Sorry, I did sound non-binary. I'm non-binary, but I do still refer to myself as girl sometimes. But welcome to this they, them chat. Thanks for sitting and chatting and listening with me as I talked about dating in Atlanta and how sucky it is. It sucks. The people here suck. Not to be mean, sorry y'all. The people here are not that great. Is that better? I don't know. But I do try to see people for who they are, or I try to see people as beautiful people and beautiful beings, and I might have to start being a villain and being like, no. How about no? Thanks for joining me in today's they them chat. I will chat some more in a future video. Hope to catch you all later. I'll see y'all in the next one. Thanks for listening, and bye.